let's try this again here. See if that solves the drop trainers problems. You'll have to let me know. Supposed to edit those. Okay, sure, I can do that. Ooh. Alright, so yeah, Matt's just piling on here. I'm getting there, Dan. I'm getting there. So Brad plays that they're tracking us to activate a force. Okay. So he does get to um, he does get to put General Kraken on the back to tank. And this is going to pull out. This is going to draw out the Hoodrix. And then MHE is going to grab the Hoodrix. That seems like a pretty reasonable play. Um, the back to tank would suggest that Brad's going to be trying to like put sacrificial characters out and hit and run a little, absorb, like spread, drop and drain a little. So the Hoodrix makes all of that much tougher. And then Matt's just gonna run from Tatooine. Guts is out, but no Han. Yes, that's correct. The characters on the TANF here are Captain Hera, Bail Organa, and Senator Mon Mothma and the droids. And then this is Remus Antilles. Okay, so I think we've got it. Stream looks pretty stable now, so all I have to do is cut the bit rate in half. Um, Alright, then Matt is going to activate a force for on Brad's turn. But he is going to eat 5 and drains here. And he does get the retrieval from his objective and retrieve with scum, so not the biggest problem. Um, and then he is going to get to drain back for 4. This is disarmed and the bounty hunter interrupt from his hand, and then peels a Greedo and a Guri and Utaguda solo from reserve. And oh, it's a drain of 2 at the Tatooine system from Bail Organa, and Twilight Advisor from hand. Guri and Greedo probably not the ones you want to lose. Although I would suspect there's probably a Dr. Chelly to pick up the Guri, so that's not a big deal. Cassian Andor and Luke. All right. Well, okay. Luke is good, but it's not comboing super well with Cassian, since your hope would be to cancel their only Battle Destiny with Cassian, and Django's going to add one. We'll see if Brad has something in his use pile that'll let him get around the Django. MHC is going to pick up one of the 2 cards in his force pile with IGD. Brad's going to use the back to tank to pick up the General Kraken, who will add a Battle Destiny here. So I guess there could be a Rebel Leadership. That would be a thing. You could Rebel Leadership and then cancel the one Destiny with Cassian. Yeah, we'll cancel Luke's immunity. That doesn't really matter, but you may as well do it. It's going to be difficult for one Battle Destiny to crack a 9 forfeit here, so. We'd love to see Hidden Weapons. Hidden Weapons would have been gross. Or potentially gross. Alright, so Brad draws Wedge Red Squadron Leader and takes that into hand. Love to see Luke's lightsaber. Yeah, Luke's lightsaber would have been rather good. Although I guess not, because there weren't enough Destiny saved for that to even be good. So you joke, Chris Kelly, but Luke's lightsaber it could be a thing in this deck. Like that's possible. All right. So we drew a Probot for Battle Destiny and then Stunning Leader, which is the one that's going to be canceled by Cassian. So that is going to be a retrieval because Lightside does get to retrieve when they win a battle. 11 attrition. It's going to be, I would imagine, Zizor and Cad Bane. I would imagine Zizor and Cad Bane would be what I would lose here. See, and we're still though in the spot where Guts. I think this is probably why. I think I'm gonna call him out. Lenny Rubin in particular is one of the guys that I talked to a little bit about Diplo against Scum, and he was really feeling like half and half on Guts when we had talked about it. I mean, largely because Guts just I hesitate to say win more, but it's a little bit win more. Like it's a little bit of it's doing a thing. It's shutting down their retrieval, but it takes a while to set it up and put it all together. And then, yeah, I think it was ultimately like it was not worth the effort. I wish Lenny were in the chat because then he'd be able to tell me if I'm remembering his thoughts correctly. Um, I don't know how Diplo wins without it. I mean, he's doing 5 damage here, and his space is, uh, I would say, like probably about equal to Matt's space right now. Certainly, Matt didn't feel comfortable enough in the exchange to stand in front of the Tanev. You attack 3 different single targets with power plus your trio of any one of them. I mean, that's true, but there is a limitation, right? Like, there's a limit to available force. Like, it's not it's not actually that easy to do all of that. It's possible. It's not impossible, certainly, but like Darkseid's going to lose a character in every one of those exchanges, also. Not that Lightside won't, but we're also been saying like I don't know how Diplo wins without it. I mean, Diplo basically doesn't have it now. It's adding one power on. It's adding one power on Owen and Baru and some forfeit on the Tantive right now. So Guts feels overrated to me against CCT. Objective retrieves anyway, and it's hard to retrieve and control, pull a card, deploy sub hit. Yeah, this is exactly. Ryan's kind of bringing the exact point that I was talking about. Like, yes, if you could just pay for everything without any cost, then sure, then Guts would be great. But it's not quite that simple. You do have to. Everything costs something, and the retrieval is certain. Like you're definitely going to pull aim high. So, um, yeah, I think I don't think it's as clear cut as just you definitely play Guts against Scum. I don't think it's that straightforward. Not necessarily saying that Brad is wrong to be playing the Guts, but I think it's an up in the air play. Joker King says, "Do you like that he didn't start Guts? It seems like the worst play." Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like you losing the one activation from Walkling to start Guts, I don't think is correct. So I would agree with Brad's play certainly that if he was gonna play Guts, that he floats it and then pulls it with his objective or with his stolen plans delivery, or use by a pull or what have you. That's a fair point, Ryan's saying that for a diff matchup, if it just stops a couple in retrieval, it could be worth it. I mean, that is reasonable. It's also something to bring up in just the choice of deck, right? That Diplo has to put a lot of cards on the table in order to be doing things. Um, so, I mean, the outcome of the actual game is certainly not decided. We're far, far, far from that. Um, but by the same token, um, if Brad wins it, I think he's probably going to be hard pressed to win by to like get a huge, huge win. Um, all right, so Matt plays Jabba's Haven and then plays Dr. Chelly to pick up the Guri. Um, Brad responds by pulling his gold and red shield, so the Guri will cost 2. That's probably fine. Guri goes down to the Stinger. So now, now this would be a pretty solid offensive force, except for the fact that Gold Leader and Gold One's still there, so drawing all those destinies is a little bit awkward. All right, and then Prince Zizor, did he retreat? Oh, he picked up Prince Zizor with Jabba's Haven, and Prince Zizor is going to go down and attack Commander Nara, so that makes sense. Zizor is huge. Zizor's a great card against Diplo. They have so many characters that don't get to draw Destiny against him. Nora does still draw around him though, so yeah, I think actually he probably wanted to attack Chirrut. Now that we're now that I'm actually saying all the words out loud, because this is just a stop Destiny. Yep, yeah, I should have attacked Chirrut. That would have been the play. Zizor at the non-battleground is not as good, but such as it goes. And then he played Lady Proxima to Jabba's space cruiser as a passenger. And he plays the Twi'lek Advisor just to verify his deck, which is going to get grabbed by Brad. Interesting but reasonable. He has to kill Nara, drain 2 that's easy to clear. I mean, it is, but I think there's also the counter argument there that since it's an easy to clear drain 2, he should do it with some character that's not Zizor, right? Because Zizor is so good against a lot of the rest of the deck that he could save Zizor and play like any character that draws on their own to kill Commander Nara. So is Chirrut. Yeah, yeah. Unless he's going for overflow. It's gonna be tough to overflow there. Not completely impossible. Nara only covers 5, but he's getting 1, 2, 3, 4 to Battle Destiny, so 9, 1. Well, there's the solo. He found the solo. Can move over if he survives too. And I mean, uh, oh, this is actually that the back to tank I'd forgotten about, and it's kind of another reason to not kill Commander Nara, because Commander Nara is just like free to pick up off of the back to tank if you want to just hit and run attack somebody. Is that a narrow escape? That's a narrow escape. So he did cause 2 overflow in the Commander Nara. Um, but Brad does have the solo now, so now and he moves Dr. Afra over. He really can't draw any here because he has to keep those force in hand to be able to draw Battle Destiny against Tandem if there's a fight in space. Yeah, so he's gonna leave those 2 force in there. Both of them only have 3 in hand. Matt is at 24 down and Brad's at 17. I think Brad has this. Possibly. I mean, it's still early enough that I don't think we can say for sure, but he's going to get drains of 3 here. And MHT is going to lose a Probot and Stunning Leader from reserve, and then Mara Jade from reserve. And Chandrilla's drain -1 if no capital starships. Yeah. Matt only having 3 cards in hand is rough. Oh, sorry. It is actually going to be drains of 4 because Luke's going to get to move over from the Cantina. I mean, Matt only having 3 cards in hand is not ideal, but he potentially, if he doesn't have need to use all 3 of his force, will be able to have 5 cards in hand by his next deploy phase. So he does draw. I guess he's only no. He's drawing 3 Battle Destinies in Chandrilla. I don't know that I would have used IG-88 there. I think you need to threaten having all 3 Battle Destinies. Brad's going to pick up Commander Nara. I wonder if he doesn't deploy him. Does he have Pond? He does have Ponda Baba. Yeah, so for MHT, we've got Ponda Baba and Woof on Slave 1. And then we have Lady Proxima and Mighty Jabba. So he's actually drawing a lot of Battle Destinies. Jesus. With 2 of your other aliens, so 1 for ability, 1 for Guri, 1, so 4 Battle Destinies, potentially. Oh, and he recirculates with Cheer, so he gets to draw a card with Nara. Nice. And then Wedge comes down. So he's just trying to. I think he's gonna battle at Chandrilla, I believe, and then add 3. Oh, he's gonna battle here and add 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gonna add 5 to this draw, which ought to be enough to clear both of them. Yep. 10 is enough Battle Destiny. Not enough to win the battle, but alright. I feel like he's probably not going to battle at Chandrilla now. Because if he was going to do that, I think you should do that first. Because you can just lose the droids. Yeah, I mean, I think for what we were debating last turn, I think killing Commander Nara was a mistake. I don't think that was the correct use of Zizor there. I'm between the Chirrut and then putting the Commander Nara on the back to tank. Yeah, I don't think that was the way it should have gone. Who won game one between Buford and Silverglen? Actually, uh, Silverglen won the entire match because Buford conceded. There was some monstrous spy beatdowns Hitco against ISB. Yeah, it was a very good hand. I didn't see the whole thing, but I heard the recap, so he should have flipped him. Imichi's playing too timid. I mean, the previous turn, the previous turn was a reasonable opportunity to flip him if he had another character that could go to the farm. Um, it doesn't. It's not clear though that Matt did have a character like that. You can just spread out against Diplo. I don't actually know that that's true. Like CCT's characters are fine, but you have to have the right ones to be able to spread out. Like you really need to find Zam. He already lost his Cad Bane. You need like Aurasing and stuff. You need like because otherwise you have to pair the characters together in order to put them at a site. So could have moved someone over from the AC to flip them back. Yeah, but who? Like right, like he can't move any single one of these characters over in front of Owen and Baru. Like he's got to have another character on top of that. He did play Proxima to the Carbon Shaver, sure. I mean, wanting to keep Proxima on the table, I think, is a reasonable call. So not putting her by herself to the site, I think, is reasonable. I think a lot of it depends on the tenor of Matt's hand. Like, it's possible that he just has a pile of red cards in his hand. Force pile pulls make it easy to find the right ones, sure, but like he only gets one force pile pull a turn, and he needs to find a bunch of different characters along the way in there. Like, and he was trying to piece together his space so that he could secure space, which is also a reasonable goal. Like CCT is certainly capable if it has the time of taking apart whatever your opponent's game plan is, but you gotta have the opportunity. You gotta have the time to do it. So yeah, like that's what we were all saying. Kind of think that Chirrut should have probably been the one who got killed by Prince instead of Nara. So Matt is in his activate. He activated and then he's IG88. I think he's still debating if he wants to activate more or no. He's debating his choice. Sorry, that's where we were. Also worth noting, Matt's down like 2-1 in time, so that's not nothing either. Although still up, 18-12 in life force, and then about to retrieve for his turn. We lost. Let's see. Brad lost Cornhorn and Jedi Mind Trick from reserve, and it was Vandenwell that was placed out of play. Play here. Oh, the Jabba's prize. Ooh, that could be bad. So we got Forlom, non-V coming down, who is going to turn off Nara's game text, and then there's Hondo and Naka, who draws on his own. I would have liked P59 also. Like I think that would have been better, but you know, he's got what he's got. So odds on a second Hujix. Not impossible. MHT verifies his deck by trying to deploy an Alhada. I mean, if any deck's gonna play two Hujix, it's probably Diplo. Especially playing it the way that Brad has here. Is there a run Luke run? There could be. Uh, Narrowscape is in Lost for solo, but he didn't do any of those things. So he's just gonna eat it? Oh, both need greater than 2 ability. Yep. Oh, he lost the other Hujix. I missed that. I missed that he had lost the other Hujix, so he does have the second Hujix. He just has to play it through solo. Alright. Is that correct, JNap? Oh, yeah, no, dodge does not require any ability, so he could have dodged away if he'd had the dodge. Should have pulled a useless gesture. Yeah, yeah. He's gonna battle in space though and draw all 5 of the cards in his reserve for these destinies, so that's kind of cool. Um, 9 battle damage, Jesus. Does that charge him though? Yeah, actually, he's only gonna draw 2 of. He's only gonna draw 4 of them because he can only pay for. Or no, no, I think he had exactly enough force. Oh, you're right, Ending Gamer. I actually think since it was already grabbed by allegations of corruption, I don't think that it would work to pull the useless gesture for the Hujix there. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I don't think it works. Um, this is gonna be a big. This is gonna be a lot of power. We had Imbalance, Udaguda, Disarmed, Cold Feet. That is 19 total Battle Destiny. Hey, there's the dodge. Takes that into hand with Senator Mamatma. Dodge is a lot less good when your opponent knows you have it. Um, just your typical scum draws. See, we've been saying it for a while, right? I think that the scum has all bad destinies thing is overblown. All right, well, he only won that battle by 20, so 21 attrition he has to face here. Mon Mothma's gonna eat it. Droids certainly are gonna go, and then I don't think he has any other single characters that are sevens. He's gonna lose 2 more things here. He could lose solo, but that would be ambitious. Um, yeah, he's gonna lose Ramus Antilles and Gold Leader and Gold One, and then probably have to abandon the Chandrilla after that. So yeah, that was a pretty good turn for Matt. He got to retrieve 5, or did he actually pay to retrieve in the space battle? I don't know if he did. Uh, oh no, of course he didn't because Guts is in effect, so he didn't get to retrieve with Scum. Of course, he did get to retrieve 1 though, so yeah, yeah, Guts in effect. That's what we've been talking about this whole time. It was the Guts, and that was the whole point of doing all of that, the Guts and all of that nonsense. Alright, so we're gonna have drains of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brad only has 12 in life force though, so yeah, and Matt's gonna lose a lot of these high destiny cards he just drew for destiny. Doesn't look like as many as I thought. Ellison Henther from hand. Gick from hand. Non-combo Gick from hand was lost. And then Cad Bane from reserve. Cold Feet from reserve. Twilight Advisor Disarm from reserve. So I believe Imbalance combo's on top now. Brad's gonna spread again. And Menace fades. Alright. And then run away. In order to satisfy Menace fades. Menace fades certainly doing something here. Reducing the drain at the audience chamber is solid. Doesn't really do anything else, but... And then Luke goes in front of Hondo Anaka and Forlom. Okay. So this is going to be drains of 3 here from Matt. Then he's going to get to retrieve 1 with the objective. Question then is what else? What else can he bring to the table? Has he moved the captive to the prison yet? I don't think so, no. So he could do that this turn. With 1 card in hand, though, I don't know if he wants to give up on that. Although Brad's spread enough and he's deployed Jin now. He already played Cassie and he already lost Corrin, so he may not have another spy. So it may be safe to just... Well... No, see the trouble thing is you have to end up with the prize at the audience chamber. Because otherwise you lose your 3 power. Wondering if Emichi's clock becomes a factor. Yeah, I mean he's down 20 minutes now. So it's very possible. Oh yeah, Corrin's the popsicle, of course, so losing the Corrin doesn't matter. Matt's considering his options with IG-88. It's a very tough spot now. Probably go to Alderaan with someone. I mean, he could split his space and go to Alderaan. So Chewy, Wild Card, and Radis got lost from the top. Surprised he didn't go 2-0 with Jin. Yeah. Just force Matt to protect another non-battleground. That's reasonable. It's P59. Saving 7. I kind of feel like this is a turn where he's gonna move IG88 over to the dungeon. Gets +1 to battle. Let's hit the battleground at least. Yeah. Oh, there's the known dodge. Was gonna miss anyway. Jin can back to tank the 2-0. I mean, you can. Brad only has 9 force down though, so Jin is an expensive one to put on the back to tank. He's gonna win the battle, but he doesn't have any force to retrieve with. And then P59 is gonna cover the 4 overflow. So it was a reasonable battle. Brad gets to look at the 1 card left in Matt's hand. Oh, he is gonna back to tank Jin. Okay. This is what I was saying before, though, right? It's like even if Matt does lose this game, like Brad's only gonna win by like 10. I think at most 10 now. He lost the celebration early. He hasn't shown that he has another one. So Matt's in his move phase now. I think he's probably got to move. He's probably got to do his retrieval, I think. His prison retrieval. It's gonna hurt him if Luke battles, but he has 1 celebration. Okay. Move to Alderaan. Yeah. That's not an unreasonable decision. I don't even remember what the text on Alderaan is. Drain 2? Yeah. He has Jin if big moves. That's true. He would have. Well, no, because he can't pick up Jin, play her in battle. That's too much force. Yeah. Yeah. He wouldn't have enough to pick up Jin and battle. So IG88 could move safely. See, he ship docks and then leaves the Jabba space cruiser at Chandrilla by itself. Okay. Okay. Boba Fett moves over in front of Owen and Beru. I don't really know how I feel about that. It feels like Matt's just trying to like save damage here, but Duro comes out too. Okay. I don't think it's an unreasonable gamble to think that Brad's like last card in hand isn't a character. Although I guess IG88 plus plus Doctor protects pretty reasonably against a lot of the characters in Diplo, so. It's alright, so he's gonna take 5 damage here. Not great, but could be a lot worse. There goes the now Hutta. And then U3PO. Why leave the cruiser there? Because the cruiser drains for 2 there. Yeah, keeps Menace Fades turned off. And even if he runs, he's gonna run in front of the space cruiser, but you kind of want to put somebody in front of the Tantive anyway the next turn. So yeah, it seems reasonable to leave the space cruiser there. He is gonna pick up Jin, probably just deploy her, and then how is Alderaan worth 1 more? Chandrilla's 2, and Alderaan is also 2. He's gonna move no matter what, sure. Oh, you're saying because then he gets to drain the following turn? Well, no, because then Menace Fades will be turned on, so it'll only be drain of 1. Like the other thing too is that he needs to keep in mind his usage of force. No, Alderaan's a drain of 1 because Menace Fades would be turned on now. Space Cruiser was at Alderaan. Oh, Menace doesn't work on your cards. Sure. Okay, fair enough. I mean, Matt has to be cognizant of his use of force, though. So I think like saving the expenditure of two used force to move the space cruiser over to Alderaan and then move it back in front of Chandrilla, I think is reasonable. Or to move, Slave One in front, or whatever. Like, I don't think it was strictly yeah, I don't think it was strictly a mistake to leave the space cruiser there. I think it was fine. Also, Matt only had like 1 force when he passed his turn, so I don't know that he wanted to use that 1 force to move the space cruiser when it was still going to be a drain or 2. So he pulls Fanfare. I mean, it's still a drain of 4. Oh no, because Jin blocks the drain, sure. So Charlie in the playoffs and most of us are watching, sure. As I said, I'm not the most expert at the matchup, so this is also the stage of the game. I think this is something that I want to say it was Joe that said it when he was talking about the top 8 and whatnot. Like, this is the stage of the game that a lot of people don't play out, right? Like the super late game where Brad could go make a sandwich and still not be timed out because he's up 27 minutes. Gamal. There's way too many consonants in this letter, in this name. Alright. Matt has 3 minutes and 40 some seconds against Brad's 31 minutes and 3. Matt timing out here is definitely in the realm of possibility. Worth pointing out though that like if he just plays a character to Mos Eisley, he'll flip him back. Or we're gonna go for a beatdown. Or we're gonna go for a beatdown. Brad's a fast player, but this is a lot. I mean, I do think that a lot of this is because like CCT does force a lot of decisions. You're forced by pulls every turn, and then that crafting out the rest of your turn and the rest of the following turns, all the stuff. Like, I don't blame Matt for having used a lot of time. He's maybe used a little more time than he should have potentially, but I mean, if he wins the game, then it doesn't really matter how much time he used. So she needs to cover every site. I mean, this is really bad. um, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. So he's getting overflowed for actual lethal here. I think that's just game. Because he can't, yeah, he can't play a gig, so that's just literally the game. So yeah, there we go. Matt wins by 8. Uh, and 31 and lost to 22. So another really close match. All the ones I've watched have been really close. So I don't know what happened with Beefred. Um, certain MHE was going to time out. Like I said, if he wins the game, it doesn't matter how much time there is. I will check and see if they have already scheduled when they're going to play the second game. It looks like they are going to play the second game on Thursday at 8:30 Eastern. I will not be on that one, so you'll have to stay tuned to see the conclusion of the match. Um, but yeah, really, really well played by both of them. This is certainly a match where things happen for sure. This is um, not like the TTO against Hitco match that we saw in the very first game. Yeah, lots of interaction, lots of stuff going on, lots of decisions. So yeah, it's a really good one to watch. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry we had all the problems with the stream earlier on. Hopefully we can kind of compress all that into a watchable video later on. But for the meantime, thanks for tuning in. I know we're gonna have a bunch of games tomorrow, and by that I mean Thursday. Um, Although it looks like Justin Desai and Connor Britton are going to be playing tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow for Hollow Theater and then also for their game, which I believe is going to be, let's see, looks like currently scheduled for around 8 and 9 Eastern. That'll be announced more definitively later on. And then we have Timo and Joker King playing their games on Thursday. Drew and Gavin playing on Thursday. And then the game 2 of this match on Thursday, and yeah, so lots happening on Thursday for sure. So definitely keep an eye out on all the usual places. We'll advertise when we have next games. For now though, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good evening, and we'll have our nice little end card here for you.